And go.
Everybody go. Here we go.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, I want to remind you about the coolest little doodad on the planet. It's this little doodad. It is the Eden Pure Oxyleaf 2 Thunderstorm. That's a big name for just a tiny little contraption that plugs right into your wall. It does not take up a single speck of floor space, and yet it can air purify an entire room, an entire stinky room. And so these are amazing. You need to have these in all the rooms of your house, especially the rooms that get extra stinky. Maybe you have like a mud room or a laundry room where your cat box is. That's a place that can. Well, I'm just saying cats pee inside.
They poop inside, you guys.
And they poop inside.
They do.
You could put you could put this right over your cat box because again, it plugs into a wall. And so, and it's got various degrees of air freshifying and air purifying. And so maybe your cat isn't all that stinky. You just need a little bit, right? Maybe you got the stinkiest cat on the planet. Right. Smelly cat, what are they feeding you?
Oh my God, that song.
Remember?
I'm going to be singing that all. Oh, I remember. I'm going to be singing that all day now. Thanks, Mom. Thanks.
Well, anyway, this thing can take care of any of the odors that you have an issue with in your house. Or this is even also more exciting. See this little doodad right here? You probably can't see it. There's like a little thing. Okay, yeah. You can. That is for a USB port because if you have a car that hooks up to a USB, you can use these in your car. This is the best thing ever because if you have kids that play sports, especially boys, and they stink afterwards, you can freshen up your car too. This is fantastic. This is why we have so many of them. And now, you guys, if you go to EdenPureDeals.com, you can save $200 on this thing for 3 units, right? So you need to get these. It's Chicks 3 units, Chicks 3, and the shipping is free. Chicks 3 is the code that you use at EdenPureDeals.com. Save $200 on 3. It's amazing. You're going to love them.
Do it. And then also, you guys, we have a deep dive coming out tomorrow. We're doing it today. It'll drop tomorrow. We're going to be talking to Ainsley Earhart, who is a Disney princess.
In real life.
Also works at Fox.
She does work at Fox.
Right. We're going to be talking to her today about her new book coming out and then also other things.
So put us right there in your pocket. That way, when it drops, you'll just get a little notification saying, oh, yeah.
Be like, hey, it's out. It's out. You should listen to it right now.
This is one of those ones that I wish we weren't doing on video because she's so gorgeous that it's just gross and it's not fair.
I know.
I don't like that.
All those chicks are so foxified. And then when they get on video with us, we look like complete trolls. We look like Lord of the Rings characters. It's also the reason I didn't like doing the video with Carrie Lake because she has the most beautiful setup. I know. She's got just the right amount of blur behind her. It's like the angels are around her going, ah! And there's the lighting and Shannon Bream's the same way too. Why do we have to talk to these chicks? Why? Why do we have to on video? No less. It's not fair.
Yeah, that's the thing. Anyway,
it's not fair.
A couple headlines to get through before we get into some videos. If you are in Florida, I hope you're taking care of yourself because Florida is about to get hit with a big size hurricane, especially if you're in the Tampa area where we just were. Right. Everybody just be careful and listen to all of the things. If they're telling you to get out, then get out. Okay, just do the things. Be smart about it. Don't put yourself in a bad situation because that thing is picking up steam. Ian, jerk. Hurricane Ian, that's his name, right?
It is Ian.
Okay, yeah.
It's Ian. Right.
Yeah. So just be careful of Ian. Also, this headline threw Daisy and me for a loop yesterday. And that is because Keith Olbermann, that's why I have my name today. It's Keith Olbermann today. Keith Olbermann tweeted a thing yesterday that got everybody's attention. I don't know that people pay much attention to Keith Olbermann anymore. I know he has a podcast. That's all I know about what he's doing these days. But here is what he tweeted. He said, when we dated, in 2010, 2011, Kirsten, and he's referring to Kirsten Sinema, was a legit progressive far to my left. Now she's embraced the political industry where there's only only process, not policy, and never people. He's mad at Kirsten because Kirsten spoke out yesterday beautifully, I might add. It's too long of a clip to play, so we're not going to play it. But I encourage everybody, go look for the clip of Kirsten Sinema explaining why the filibuster is so important. She explains the differences between the House and the Senate in a really fantastic way. It's definitely worth a listen, but it made her ex-boyfriend, Keith Olbermann, very angry.
Ew. Like
Ew.
that visual is so ew. And I'm assuming that if she was super, super far left and then she dated him, that's the reason that she has, like, the pendulum has swung the other way a little bit, because she probably was like, oh, damn. Like, that's a reason. Seriously, if you date somebody and they're bat crap crazy, that's enough reason for you to swing a little bit the other way, right? I
Well,
mean,
now
that would
she's
do
like
it.
right in the middle, right?
Yeah,
Like
I mean, that would
deal.
do it. Dating him would make somebody run. Just to go, don't you think?
Well, yeah, she didn't run all the way to play for the other
No,
team, but
no.
now she plays for both teams.
Right.
And I suspect that he had something to do with that, for
I mean,
sure.
she's bisexual now too, right? Like,
That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
She plays for both of the teams.
Right. She's bisexual, and then also she's more moderate when it comes to politics. She's a little bit more moderate. She's not as far left. I mean, she's a little more reasonable. She's one of the more reasonable Democrats. Sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes, at least.
But but also she dated him, which makes me really question everything about her at all.
Well,
always.
I mean, sometimes just looking at what she wears, I question.
Right.
I question her. Yeah.
Shelly, thank you so much for the super sticker. She says, Grandma always said, pretty is as pretty does. You are gorgeous. She says,
that's sweet.
That's very sweet. Very, very,
Very
sweet.
sweet.
Another headline, California is banning gas furnaces and heaters starting in 2030. So if you have a furnace in your home that is gas powered in California and it breaks down in 2030, you're going to have to redo your whole house. You're going to have to redo how you heat your house.
God, I swear.
I mean, what in the world?
I mean, California. Why do people want to live there?
They got good weather. That's it. That's the only reason I know of.
There's a lot of other places that have good weather.
Well, they don't have I think that Southern California may be the only place that has literally perfect weather all year round.
I think
it may be the only place.
I beg to differ. There are places in Arizona that have perfect weather.
No, because some people would say it's too hot. That's the thing.
Really?
I think that they would say it's too hot.
Okay, well, I'm not one of those people. I like heat. So I guess it's all objective, right? It's all just very like whoever, you may think that it's too hot, but I don't. I like heat, So it depends on the person. I just think that it's not worth it.
It's not. I mean, just with the cost and everything else is not worth the weather for sure. Oh, I know. Yeah. Totally get it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's what's happening in California. And then the other points I wanted to make before we get into videos. I saw a clip of Eric Bolling on Newsmax, who is like fighting with Tucker Carlson. And I didn't know that he is insisting that Tucker Carlson is essentially a Russian propagandist.
What?
And so I know. And it was very disappointing to me to see that clip this morning. And I was like, well, I didn't realize that Eric Bolling I didn't know that there was between him and Tucker. Right. I don't like it.
And he used to be at Fox, and then he left and he went to Newsmax. Mm-hmm. And so they obviously at one point probably were friends, at least coworkers.
I don't know, but it's bad.
Why does he have to do that? He's not a Russian propagandist.
I don't know. I don't like it when there's infighting. I don't like it.
Can we just not? Can we not?
Can we just not? Indeed. Right. And then the last thing that I want to tell you, this story just upsets me so much, especially because there's a photo of it on the Daily Mail right now. A woman in Montana, you know how I feel about the hunting pictures. When people hunt, fine. I'm not
Right.
against hunting. Like, you go and you do your hunting. I could never personally do it. That's just me. I'm not saying people shouldn't. I'm just saying that is not something I could ever do. And I don't like it, whether it's the Trump kids or whoever. I don't like trophy pictures of dead animals and happy smiling people holding up pictures of their kills. I think it's disgusting. That's just a me thing. This woman in Montana posted a photo, a kill photo, a trophy photo of her holding up her kill because she thought that she killed a wolf that turned out to be a freaking husky. She killed a dog thinking that she was killing a wolf, proudly holds up this husky that she has slaughtered, and then obviously got a rash of shit for it, right? Like, so people came after her like crazy, like, you just killed a freaking pet, you insane lunatic. And so now her defense is that, first of all, it was in self-defense, but also an accident. So I don't know how you do both of those things at the same time.
What do you
But
mean, like,
I'm just
self-defense? What was it? Was it
well,
screaming at her?
exactly.
Like, that's the thing. Like, what? This is the thing. Like, how
I'm
mean
just
can a
so
husky
upset about it.
be?
I'm so
How
upset.
That's the thing.
So
I mean,
upset
like,
about
how
it.
mean can a husky be? I don't. Is it like, are there just wild huskies running around Montana? I don't. Like, I don't understand. How did this happen? I'm so
I don't
confused about this.
I don't know. It's awful, and
I'm being serious. Like, I have questions. I have
well, yeah,
questions.
everybody has questions,
I
and
have lots of
she
questions.
deserves every rash of shit she's getting. She deserves it. And the picture just makes me so angry because she's beaming with pride about her kill. And it's disgusting. It's
Yeah,
disgusting.
and I didn't know that that was a thing. Like, you go out and you go wolf hunting. Like, is wolf hunting a thing in Montana?
I
I didn't
guess.
know
I
that
don't
was a
know.
thing.
I could never kill a
Okay,
wolf either. I could not kill something that looks so
maybe
cute.
somebody, yeah, somebody said maybe it's a Cujo situation. Like, seriously, you know that dog was just literally screaming at her. He was screaming because that's all they do.
Right.
He was just doing, and she shot it. All
She
right,
shot it.
that's a messed up story, Mont.
Colleen, I don't have a problem with fish kills because, as you know, I have a very strict fur policy.
She does. It's like,
So
right. And hairless cats. If somebody shot a hairless cat,
no,
she'd be
I
totally
don't want
okay with
any.
it.
No, I don't want hairless
No?
cats to be shot. No,
No?
I
Are you
don't.
sure?
I just would never have one. I don't like
Just because
them,
of
but I don't want them
the
shot.
fur policies. You know, it's interesting because one our old producer, our old executive producer used to, like, get so upset about people who fish because he was like, "Imagine a fish could scream." Because if do you remember when Matt used to say that? Do you remember? Because he was like, you know, people like go fishing all the time and no one ever thinks about it. He was so it was so sweet the way he used to say that. You know, it's just kind of funny because he's like, just imagine a fish could scream. People would think totally differently about the whole fishing industry. And I'm
Well, and
like,
he's not wrong. He's
he
not wrong.
isn't
And
wrong.
I do have the strict fur policy, but also I don't like fishing for sport. I like fishing when you go to get your dinner. Like, you go and you get a fish and you cook it, great. But when you just go and then you like take a picture and this fish can't breathe and then you throw it back and after he's been hooked, I mean, it's just mean. You know what I mean? I don't like
Yeah.
any of that. I'm sorry, very like soft when it comes to that stuff. But yes, of course I eat turkeys. Again, I'm fine about animals being hunted
You're gonna
for
get all sorts.
food.
You're getting
Anyway,
all the
let's move
crap now.
on.
It's gonna you gotta move on because now
We
you're
gotta
gonna get
move on.
we're gonna get all the mail. Good job. We're getting all the mail. Do you eat quail? What do you
Do you
eat?
wear leather? I mean, I know
God.
this is where we're gonna get into
I
a
know
whole
you're gonna
other
get
thing.
all the crap. Congratulations. Like, our inbox is gonna be so full today.
I know. Anyway, you can see the photo at Daily Mail if you want of this ridiculous woman in Montana. Okay, yesterday there was a lot of news that came out obviously about the stock market. The stock market took another tumble because Joe Biden sucks at everything he does, right?
Right.
And so the economy is getting worse. We're being forced now. I mean, we've been in a recession, but now the Fed is like actually doing it on purpose with the rise in the interest rates. They want us to be in a recession to cure the inflation because that's how this administration operates. So yesterday, everybody knows that the market went down. That's not been news. What was news is when I heard Julie Banderas, who, by the way, always seems very upset to me. She seems like a very
Very sad.
unhappy
Very
person.
sad.
Yeah, a very like so serious that I feel like I just want her. I just wonder if she would react to a joke. You know what I mean? Like if
Maybe
she heard a good dad joke, would that work? I don't know.
maybe it was her husky.
Maybe
Maybe.
so.
Could have
Maybe
been.
she is in Montana and we just
That's
don't
right.
know.
We
But
don't
here
know.
she is very quickly reporting about the actual dollar amount that the stock market has lost under Biden. And it is astonishing. Look at this.
To open after an absolutely brutal week on Wall Street. Stocks now down $7.6 trillion since President Biden took office.
God.
$7.6
Trillion.
trillion is just gone. Gone.
With a T.
Oh my God.
Wow. Wow.
Can you even? Like that's
and listen, going back to her name is Julie. Is that her name? Julie?
Julie, yeah.
Julie. I actually think she's funny. I've heard her like on
Really?
She's funny. She's really funny. She's kind of crass. I like her a lot.
I have never heard her crack a joke.
Oh my God, she's hilarious. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she's funny. She'll say funny stuff. Like I think she's been on some of the other shows like the Five and on Gutfeld and yeah, shows like that.
Okay, well that's great.
She's actually really funny. Yeah,
Okay.
she's mean funny, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
She's money.
She's fiend. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm glad to hear that she doesn't always sound so miserable. That's great. Yay. I just don't watch her enough, clearly.
Right.
But what I do watch quite a bit is what's happening at mystore.com/chicks, because you guys, mystore.com/chicks, part of the MyPillow suite, if you will. MyPillow has now mystore.com/chicks. And on mystore.com/chicks, there are tons and tons of conservative entrepreneurs who are selling their wares, right? And so Mike Lindell, God bless him, is giving those business owners a platform, his platform, so that you can get all kinds of different products for all kinds of different product sales prices when you use code chicks at mystore.com/chicks. And they've got everything. I'm telling you, they've got books, they've got patriotic items, flags, they've got tools, they've got coffee, they've got all kinds of different things at mystore.com/chicks. And if you use code chicks at checkout, you're going to get additional savings and you're going to be supporting conservative business owners. So there's this is the best thing ever. I love that Mike Lindell has done that to help conservative business owners and to also help conservatives get really cool stuff. mystore.com/chicks.
It's a win-win. And then also check out our website too, chicksontheright.com, because all chick stuff come from there. And you guys can go there, bookmark it if you haven't bookmarked it already, and then read all of our stuff too, because we have really great writers, including us. So chicksontheright.com.
Please do it. Okay, back to Biden and how much he sucks. So yesterday, he was talking about not just he was saying some stuff about gas prices that we'll get to in just a second. But I want you to hear what Joe Biden thinks inflation is and how he thinks it impacts the regular American. This is unbelievable level of ignorance and incompetence, what you're about to hear. Listen.
Inflation is at the end of the month. Do you have less money from your paycheck or more money from your paycheck? I mean, the way that people, that's how it's calculated by the vast majority of American people.
So he is trying to say,
oh my God,
inflation is all about how much money is in your paycheck. Because this clown wants to take credit for the fact that wages on balance are up, like the actual wages, the actual pay that people are getting, but any benefit or increase has been completely wiped away and then some because of the high prices. So even if you've gotten a raise, chances are you don't feel it because you're spending more on everything. But that is what he said.
Right. And they also they want to make it sound like everything is great. This is the thing that this administration, they are spinning and spinning and spinning, and they're trying to make it sound like, oh, everything's fine. Everything's great. Can't you see, American people, can't you see how everything is just awesome right now? And we're the reason for that awesomeness. I mean, they will do everything in their power to make you think. I mean, it's craziness because we're living the life. We're looking around and we can see how much everything sucks. And so I don't know how they think this is going to work, because we live in reality, even though they don't. I mean, they can spin and market all they want, but we live it.
Right. So it's kind of pointless to
Right.
tell us things that we can see, feel, hear, taste, smell are not true.
Yeah.
What is the point of doing that?
I don't know. I mean, maybe I guess their base, I guess there are liberals who are going to be like, oh yeah, things are great, even though, everything does suck in reality. They're going to eat it up, and they're going to love the narrative, because that's who they are as people, but the rest of us are like, we live in reality, and it does suck. Everything does suck right now. You can't, I mean, there's crime, there's the border, it's like the economy. I mean, and really at the end of the day, I feel like when it comes to voting, people are going to vote based on it's the economy, stupid. It's
I
the
would hope
economy,
so.
stupid. I would hope that is what most people are going to vote based on, is the economy.
Well, and you mentioned crime too, and I'm glad you did, because we're going to talk about that in a second. But first, thank you, Mad Cow Mark. Mad Cow Mark sent a super sticker and said, just because I feel like it, I will donate.
Oh, that's nice.
That is so nice. So we told you a couple weeks ago that Jen Psaki now has a show. And I don't know if this little clip of her speaking actual truth, which is a rarity for Jen Psaki. I don't know if this is her show or if she's appearing on another show. It doesn't really matter, because here is what she said about this upcoming election.
Is a referendum on the president, they will lose, and they know that. They also know that crime is a huge vulnerability for Democrats. I would say one of the biggest vulnerabilities.
Okay, that was pretty clear, right? She
Yeah.
said crime is one of the biggest vulnerabilities for Democrats, right?
Right. And she also said if it's a referendum on the president, they're going to lose.
Right.
So she's basically saying the president sucks. I mean, so she lied to us all that time.
Oh, yeah.
When she was there, she lied. So what else are they lying about? And what's KJP
Well,
lying about?
Exactly. So you heard what she said. Crime is one of Democrats' biggest weaknesses. Like, there was no parsing that. There's no other way to interpret that, right? So KJP was asked about it, and she watch this.
Psaki says that crime is a huge vulnerability for Democrats. Why would she say that?
So, again, I can't do electoral politics from here, as you know, but I don't agree with your characterization of what she actually said.
She doesn't agree with the characterization. There was no characterization.
No.
She said what she said.
Right. It's pretty clear. I mean, if it's a referendum on him, he sucks, and then crime is like, you guys have to own that. And you are the defund the police people, whether you like it or not. That's who you are. Own it. Yeah, because listen, there are ads in Texas right now of Beto saying that very thing. So that's
saying what?
Saying that he is all about defund the police. So that's who these people are. So they can act now like, oh, no, we're all about, the police and funding the police and we're the crime thing is no, they're trying to distance themselves now from that whole defend the police thing. And because crime is so out of control that they're kind of freaking out, thinking, no, now we can say that, we're all about funding the police and supporting the police and, bull crap. These people are the people of, supporting criminals and not our cops. And so they have to own that. And I think people know. I think we all know who they are.
Well, Peter tried again. He always gives a really good try in the press conferences to get KJP to answer a question straight. I mean, she just can't do it. But man, he keeps trying. And on the crime thing, he tried. You guys watch.
President Biden think America's big cities are safe?
Can you say more?
Well, we know that thefts and robberies are up about 20% in the first half of this year, so I'm wondering if he thinks America's big cities are safe.
Are you talking about the New York Times story specifically? Or is that what you're referring to?
It's a yes or no.
The murder rate is still 30% above its 2019 level. They're all from the Council on Criminal Justice. So we've seen some high-profile examples of this. The Washington Commanders running back was being mugged. He got shot. Karen Bass, member of Congress, had her house robbed. These are high-profile people. So should everyday Americans who are not in the public eye feel safe?
So I'll say this. That same story also stated that the crime is complicated and multifaceted.
Oh my God.
Look, this is a president who has secured historic funding to make sure that
Oh my
law
God.
enforcement has what it needs, especially, and he was able to do this in the face of opposition from Republicans during a time where he inherited a rising crime rate from the previous administration. The president put forth the American Rescue Plan, and in that very plan, there was more than $300 billion to go to local states and local cities to make sure that they were able to hire law officers. They were able to hire, firefighters. They were.
I can't.
So
I
this
can't
is,
anymore with
but
her.
this is what they're doing. They're trying to turn around and say that Republicans are the ones who didn't want to fund the police. This is what they're doing. And she can get on a freaking podium and do that. Like you are the ones who were screaming, defund the police. We all know it. So how can you get up there with a straight face and blame it on Republicans? And this is the spin. Screw you. Like, we know it's just like the economy. It's just like everything else. Like, they try to act like, oh, this is Republicans' fault. It's like them saying that the border is Trump's fault.
Oh my God, that makes me crazy.
Right. It makes me crazy too. It's such extreme gaslighting. Like, the American people know. We are not stupid. We know. We have seen what's happened over the past couple of years. And this is clearly your fault. You did this. You defunded. You were happy.
And you kept talking about it.
Right.
You kept talking about how important it is to defund the police and how awful cops are, the whole 9 yards.
And this is
what
happens.
The worst part is that they keep, and this is on voters, right? Voters keep voting in DAs that are not going to prosecute, that are letting criminals out left and right. So even when there are cohesive, well-run police stations, they're powerless. All they can do is arrest. It's these district attorneys, these prosecutors that won't do their freaking jobs. And so when voters put those people in, that is on them. Right. It's not about the police anymore. It's about how people are voting. Vote red.
Right. They're liberal progressive DAs. And these are liberal progressive people who have been screaming defund. And this is what happens when you do that. I mean, if you don't have cops in a city, what do you think is going to happen? This is what happens. It's lawlessness. It's complete mayhem. Crime goes up. People suffer. This is what you see. And then cities crumble. And this is what we're seeing happening. It's like, it's not brain surgery.
I know when Democrats are constantly saying no one is above the law. Well, apparently criminals are. Yeah. Because criminals are just allowed to ransack stores. They're allowed to just bust in. They can have security guards posted in stores that will literally stand there and watch robberies happen. They'll watch these gangs come in and just empty out a store.
Well, you saw that
they just stand there and do nothing.
That video of was it the Wawa store? Is that what that's called? The Wawa store in Philly? And then the woman at the counter, like completely unaffected. She's like, "You gonna make my sandwich or what?"
I know. Like there's complete chaos behind her, and she's like, "I gotta eat."
I mean, that's the thing. It's so like these cities are they're so used to this now. People are so used to the craziness and the mayhem, and I'm just shaking my head, going, "God, I'm so glad I live out in the country. I'm just so glad I live in a rural area because I can't imagine. I just can't." Living in I used to live in the city. I used to live in downtown Chicago. And there's no way I'd go to Chicago right now. I'm too afraid. I'd be too afraid to take my family to a place like downtown Chicago. And I lived there. I mean, it's like,
that's how much stuff has changed. I know. It is a shame. It's a huge shame. One thing that everybody should be on alert for is that the new way, because KJP, God bless her, she's got a lot of ways to evade questions and to try to dance around them without actually answering. The new way, and she did it twice yesterday, at least twice that I know of. The new way she's going to avoid questions is to pretend that she can't talk about them because of the election. So there's certain limits that she has from the podium about what she can and can't say about the election. And so she's going to use that as an excuse to not answer questions that she's perfectly able to answer by trying to pretend that they're election related. So here's an example of what I mean.
The new poll that was out this weekend, this ABC Washington Post poll, shows 56% of Democrats want the party to nominate someone other than Biden, and for people under 40, 75% want the party to pick someone different. Is the president concerned by this? How's he digesting a number like that?
So, as you know, I'm very limited on how I can discuss any kind of elections. I will reiterate what we have said many times from here, what the president has said many times, even recently as his 60-minute interview, is that he intends to run.
Literally not the question.
Yeah.
Not at all the question. That
Yeah.
wasn't even a little bit of the question.
She just doesn't answer questions. This is the thing. She doesn't answer them. You know,
That's incredible.
At least Jen Psaki, she would answer questions. She would just do it in a way where, you know, she'd answer it the way that they wanted her to, like the craft of the narrative, the way that she wanted to answer it, even though it was wrong. Like she'd answer it, but it was a wrong answer. You know what I mean? But she'd answer the question.
Yeah.
I mean, she was pretty good at doing that. This chick, she just doesn't even, she doesn't even try to answer.
And now
questions.
she's going to say, oh, well, I don't like that question. So I'm going to say, well, I can't really talk about the election. Okay,
Right.
well, no one's asking you to. The
Mhm.
question in that case was, how is Joe Biden swallowing the fact that his poll numbers suck so hard?
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, someone just asked me where my DeSantis cutout is. You guys.
Where
You
is
know what I
it?
did? Well, it's over. It's like I hid it
Are you
because
mad at him?
no, not at all. But I forgot to put him back because we had somebody come. We're trying to give away our piano. And so we had somebody come from the neighborhood to look at the piano and make sure that it was going to fit their house. And I hid it because it's in the same room. And I hid it because I was like, well, I don't know how this person feels about I don't want to get into a political discussion in the middle of my dining room as we're talking about a
Right.
piano. So I'm just
Right.
going to hide him. And I forgot to put him back.
Is that what it was? It's like, but listen, the picture of the Robbie Williams.
Well,
is
Robbie's
like,
not political. So
That's
like I
right.
don't care. And no one knows who he is anyway.
Yeah, they'd be like, why is that dude's face like sitting in your dining room? It's just so
Good
strange.
catch, whoever that was. I will put Ron back up as soon as this is over. I completely spaced that I moved him at all, but that's why I did it.
I thought maybe you were still mad at him because he didn't show up to our meet and greet.
Well, I am mad, but I
Yeah,
still
I
love
am
him
too.
also.
I'm mad.
So
I know. I'm still mad at him.
yeah, I'm mad, but but that had nothing to do with why he's not.
Yeah.
I completely forgot, but good catch, you guys. Very good catch. Closet DeSantis fan. No, Lisa, I'm all the way out and proud.
No, she's
I just
so
don't
out.
want to start fights with neighbors who I'm trying to give a piano to.
Right.
Because what if they were like, I'm not taking this piano because you are a DeSantis fan. I can't have that. I don't want that kind of drama in my life. So
How can you not
anyway.
be a DeSantis fan? Do you even
I don't know.
want
I
to give
don't
your
understand
piano
it.
to somebody like that? Seriously.
Well, I just really need to get rid of the
Get
piano.
rid of it,
Is the
yeah.
thing. Okay, switching gears completely because I'm not going to subject you to any more KJP, even though I did have another example of her doing the same thing, just trying to bring the election into a question that has nothing to do with it. We have to show this latest clip of John Fetterman. You guys, I cannot believe that there are people in Pennsylvania that will
I know.
actually vote for this complete
Right.
loser of a person.
Right.
What in the world?
Have we determined what's on his neck? What is it?
I was just going to ask you. Somebody
What is
said that
it?
they saw a big bump on it.
Oh my God. It's not
And
just a
that's why
big-
he wears a scarf or like a hoodie all the
he
time
wears
to
a
cover
hoodie
it.
all the time. He wears a hoodie all the time because there's this giant growth on his neck. What is it, you guys?
I
Like,
don't
we need to-
know.
people need to talk about that all the time. Like it's
I
not
don't
bad.
know.
Like it's bad enough that the guy like cannot speak in complete sentences. I don't think that we should be afraid to talk about that. Like, I'm sorry,
No.
you had a stroke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not
Like-
making fun of him having a stroke.
No.
I'm making fun of the fact that he thinks that he is in any way prepared mentally to be a senator. Like that's,
Yeah.
I would never do that. If I had lost the ability to communicate as a result of a stroke, I would not be running for political office.
Exactly.
I would have the sense to step back. This guy does not have that sense. And if you want, here's the most recent example of him just being completely incompetent, incapable. I don't know what's going on here. Help me parse this one.
The Eagles are so much better than the Eagles.
What? What did he just say? The Eagles are better than the Eagles?
The Eagles are so much better than the Eagles.
Oh my God.
So much better, you guys.
With this guy. He is a lunatic.
What is happening?
And he can't listen, and he won't do a debate with Oz because he can't. He can't.
No,
he's waiting. Seriously, he can't do it. He can't get on a stage and do that because he's completely physically incapable of doing it. I cannot believe that there are people in Pennsylvania who are like, yeah, this guy can represent me. What is wrong with these people?
I don't know. I mean, listen, Oz he's not a great candidate, but he's at least got his wits about him. You know what I mean?
Talk. Yeah. He can at least talk.
I just can't believe that. Oh my God.
He's not a commie.
Right.
He's got those two things going for him. So elect him, you know? I mean, for crying out loud. Oh,
what is in your sack of whack?
It's the
I don't know what that
is. Everybody's saying he needs to see Dr. Pimple Popper, and I agree.
Oh my God, is it poppable? Oh my God,
I don't know. It could be a lipoma. It could be. I've watched many of those shows. It could be. It could very well be.
I can't watch that.
He needs to get that taken care of. Okay, so this was sent to us by a clever and competent listener. It's so gross, you guys. It's so gross. Listen, I'm not a fan of little dogs. It's not that I don't. I mean, I love all dogs. But I just wouldn't have a little dog. And this is probably one of the reasons that I wouldn't have a little dog, because this little dog slept with this woman. Okay. Still sleeps with this woman.
Not in the biblical sense. Just saying, that sounded very odd when you said that.
Right. But this dog sleeps with this woman. And apparently the dog crapped in her mouth in the middle of the night. I'm sorry, but like, the dog would not be sleeping with me anymore if that were the case. And so this woman, she took a picture of it. First of all, that is disturbing that she took a picture of it, but she ended up getting like really, really sick. She was in the hospital for 3 days with this like really awful gastrointestinal infection.
Yeah.
Because the dog, this little Chihuahua, pooped in her mouth. God. I cannot with this story. Like, yeah.
Oh my God. And there's a quote that says, "It was disgusting and I was hurling violently for hours after. I just couldn't get the taste out of my mouth."
I can't with this. Yeah. Now and she's okay now, but like her kidneys almost shut down. Like she was,
oh my God.
She was so sick because the dog was sick. And then the dog, why would a dog poop in your mouth? A
big dog wouldn't do that. A big dog would not do that.
No, a big dog, a big dog wouldn't do that.
I really don't think they would.
No, this is the thing about little dogs. It's like a dog, I feel like that's malicious.
Well, especially with Chihuahuas, you know?
Yeah.
They're angry little nervous ankle biters.
They have the Napoleon complex. You know how little dogs are. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. People are going to be so mad. There's going to be like Chihuahua owners out there that are going to be like, my Chihuahua would never poop in my mouth.
Right.
And that's probably true. I'm going to guess that a lot of Chihuahuas would not, but there's enough that would.
Right. Chihuahuas, just not my favorite breed, you guys. Not a fan.
Not a fan as well. All right. It is time for some MyPillow talks. MyPillow, don't forget, mypillow.com/chicks. You can still get discounts on sheets and so many other things when you use code CHICKS. All right. Let's get to it. So this is the strangest thing. I've never seen a dog do this. And this woman who owns the dog has also never seen a dog do this. She's going to show you what she's talking about, and then we can discuss. Watch this.
Okay, I know nothing about dogs other than, how to generally take care of them. My dog, Buddy, does something very weird. And, I I need to know if anyone else's dog does this. Is this normal? Is this a thing? Buddy walks very slowly through anything with leaves like the fucking Lorax. And I'm not joking. So this is not slowed down. This is Buddy and how he walks through the leaves. Look how majestic he looks. He's just being one with nature.
I love him.
This is like super slow motion. As soon as he's out of it,
And then he's
super
fine.
quick. And I don't know why he does it. And no one seems to know why he does it. Someone
my
explain.
Isn't that the craziest thing?
It is. It's cute. I like it.
And there's a bunch of videos. Like she's posted a bunch of videos, and every time, even if he just gets near like the side of a bush, if he plans on getting near it and touching his body to the leaves, all of a sudden he
slows
just
down.
like
He
he's
slows
going
down.
through like maple syrup or something. It's so weird. It's so
Oh my
weird.
God, I love Buddy.
I love
him.
that.
He's so cute.
He is
Yeah.
very, very cute.
He is.
Okay, I wanted to show you. This guy is looking for family members, and so I just wanted to share his little
Okay.
PSA.
All right.
Hey, I don't know who needs to hear this, but DM me if you want to be my cousin, because I'm starting my own family from scratch.
Okay. I mean,
I'm
all right.
kind of down.
He
You know,
seems like he'd be a great cousin.
I'm kind of down. I feel
Right.
like
I
we
mean,
should
I
reach
could-
out.
I could use some new cousins too. I could use some.
You guys remember? I think I've shown this dog before. This is a dog that has 3 legs. The one of his legs, I think maybe it's even both of his front legs don't work. So this is a dog that walks like a human most of the time. And it's pretty incredible. The way they show videos of this dog all the time. This particular video looks so creepy because can you imagine just being over at this person's house and not knowing about the dog in advance and seeing this?
Okay.
I
So
mean,
cute.
he's
So
just like,
cute.
I'm
Walking
just
through the
gonna walk
halls.
around. Yeah.
He's walking through the halls.
Can you imagine? That would
That
creep me
is-
out if I didn't know to expect it.
It's
Is
a
what
little
is what I'm
crazy.
saying.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. That's
Also,
that's remarkable though.
It
It's
is
just-
remarkable.
Just remarkable how dogs can do that. They just adjust, you know?
They just figure it out, man. They just figure it out. That dog
Yeah.
is living its best life
Totally.
regardless. Okay, this woman wanted to pass along something that she learned in business school that she thought would be helpful to everybody when they're stressed out.
Here's a little trick I picked up in business school. Whenever you feel overwhelmed by responsibilities or the existential dread of imposter syndrome, you just lay right on the floor and the tears can't come out. They just stay in there. Here's a little trick I picked up.
They can't come out.
They
'cause
can't.
You're like this. So they just
Right.
they stay.
They stay right in there. Yeah.
So tip,
Just
that's your PSA.
overwhelmed. If you're overwhelmed, just hold it in, you guys. Just hold it all in.
Okay, a slightly serious one now. There is a woman. So you've heard about, especially this is in New York City, you've heard about all the teachers who have been essentially let go from their jobs because they refused to get vaccinated. So I had not thought about that topic in this way up until I saw this video. And then I was like, hot damn, this woman is absolutely right about the bigger implications of what that means. Watch.
Hey, good morning, friends. So I recently heard that New York City laid off about 800 teachers because they would not get the COVID vaccine. So we need to think about what sort of people were laid off because of this. What sort of people are not getting the COVID vaccine? They're the skeptical, they're the free thinkers, they're the people who are cautiously not early adopters, they're conservative, and they're religious. So those are the sorts of people that got let go. So who are they going to hire in their place? The people who go along with whatever the government says they should go along with, gratefully. And then there are the people who acquiesce to it, whether out of cowardice or ignorance. So regardless of whether or not this was an intentional ideological subversion of our education system, it is an ideological subversion of our education system.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. I mean, that
Yikes.
goes for other, it's not just education though either. Think about
It's
like the
military.
military, right? The
Yeah.
military. I mean, think about that.
Yeah. The
Yikes
best
is
and
right.
brightest among us are the ones that are being forced out of their jobs.
Right. Out of so
And
many
that
jobs.
starts to feel like it's on purpose, right? Like it feels very,
Right.
very much on purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the kinds of people that you can now expect to be in teaching positions. Now, granted, this is satirical. This woman cannot be real because the things that she says are so ridiculously funny. But just imagine this is the kind of person now that is going to be hired to teach your kids.
Hi, TikTok. A lot of you replied to my last video and asked if I ever blink, and the answer is yes, but only with my third eye. A few other things about me. I'm a sustainabilitarian, which means my diet is 80% soil. I create artisanal vision boards from rough-hewn driftwood and human braids. I run a stone fruit sanctuary for orphaned plums. We empower preschoolers to open their own farm-to-table restaurants. I am a board-certified polyamory doula. I help bring quadruples into the world. I started a nonprofit to rehouse bees that have been displaced by war. I upcycle meaningless poetry into usable instruction manuals. I rely on the ancestral wisdom of plants for financial advice. I protest gender reveal parties using weapons-grade explosives filled with sepia-toned glitter. Let me know if you have other questions.
That was my favorite. That was sepia tone glitter.
Her.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I need some of that.
I
That stuff
just love
doesn't get
her.
out. Like it stays in everything. Sepia tone glitter. Like you can't get that shit out.
Well,
You
just
can't.
and also if you're the kind of person that puts confetti in cards of any kind of greeting in a greeting
Don't.
card,
Just don't.
that is
You're
a
mean.
terrorist activity.
You're mean.
That's
You're
terror.
evil. You're an evil person.
It's not right. It is not
Right.
okay.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Right.
those were your talks for today.
Those are good talks. Good
Thanks.
talks, you guys. Okay, it's Tuesday. It's deep dive day. Everybody bring it in. Bring it in. What you doing back there? What you doing back there, Cash? I can't see you.
Where
What you
is he?
doing?
There he
There he
is.
is. He's coming to say hello to
There
everybody.
he
You gotta
is.
put your head up so people can see you. Say hello. Okay, there you go. All right, everybody have a great day, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.